Chris Bear. Tell us your story, Chris, and then get into how to get to build an organization up to 500.
Thank you guys so much for having me on this call today. And Tom, all the leadership that you put into your group, it's phenomenal. But I got into real estate because there was a life event that happened. And I've learned in most scenarios, real estate agents don't get into the business because they grew up wanting to sell homes. Right? It's because something happened. And for me, my daughter was born with some medical issues. I was a deputy sheriff at the time, not making enough money. So I had to get another job and do 2 jobs. So I started selling homes and I had a big why. So just like revenue share and building that residual income, you've got to understand your big why. Why are you doing it? Because if you're doing it just for the money, it's never going to get you past all the adversity and the obstacles that you're going to face. So for me, when my daughter needed medical treatment, I was her dad. So I went out there and did everything I needed to do. My first 3 months, I was a multi-million-dollar producer. Shortly after that, I was making my year salary in a month selling homes, and it just kept exploding. And so very, very fun. I've always had a blast doing it. Moved my company over 3.5 years ago to eXp, started with 23 agents and grew that the first year to 101 agents. And I personally sold 86 homes still that year. So everybody on the call, nod with me when I say this. Give me a yes nod. Can you sell homes and attract agents? Yes, yes, you can, okay? It's a business plan for both. And after that first year, I stepped out of production. eXp came to me and offered me the role of vice president for growth. And my wife took over all the production. She's phenomenal. She still is in sales. She's just figured out how to sell 50 or 60 homes a year without speaking to one client or opening one door. So she's the genius in real estate. And our group, though, has just organically grown. So once you get the snowball built right on top of the mountain and then you push it, it just keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what's happened to us now. And it's absolutely just life-changing, like Tracy said, though, to wake up and know if something was to happen to me personally or my wife, that my family is still provided for. And that was really my big why in building revenue share, was if I didn't show up to run the brokerage, who was running it? Okay, if something happened to me and my wife, was my, at the time, 5- and 6-year-old going to walk into the office and tell everybody, let's go to work? No, it was going to die, and it was done. And with revenue share, we can will this to our children and to our families. So that was so powerful that I can pass this on to generations to come, and it's not about my own works. So a couple things real quick, if you want me to, Tom, to talk about a few good habits.
Yes, good habits to build to 500.
Well,
so Chris speaks with our growth leaders all across the country, right? Probably the world now, Chris, right? And so, he's brought in to roll in brokerages. He's brought in to talk to the power players, right? So Chris, what are the best practices for our agents? Go for it, man.
I love it. Yeah. So, and that's exactly where I was going to go. When you look at, the Tracy Lewises in the world and the Brent Goes and the Gene Fredericks, I've spent a lot of time with these guys, and I'm really trying to figure out their habits, right? I'm big into self-education. I read a ton of books. One of the best books, this is a book to write down, everybody, that I read, is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. If you haven't read that, read it. And, the basis of that book that he speaks about is the trajectory of your life, okay? It's not the big things that you're doing wrong that's going to get you off track, because you realize those, right? You realize those things real fast because they stand out. It's the little things that you don't realize. And I'm a pilot, so I love to fly planes. And Darren talks about, if you set a plane in California and you put it on path for New York, it's going to get there, right? A perfect path. But if it's just a half an inch, think about a big plane, just a half an inch to the left or to the right, which you would never notice, and you fly that trajectory, you'll be 300 to 400 miles to the north or to the south of where you're trying to go. So what are the little things that are taking us off the trajectory of where we're trying to go? And what I've learned from the best of the best in this industry is what they do is consistency every single day. That's it, guys. It's consistency. Okay, it's not being distracted over here. It's not trying to redevelop the wheel over here. I love how Tracy said, it's a script. It works. Okay, well, how you become successful with that script is consistently using it, right? You can have the script, you use it a couple times, that didn't work. This is right. It doesn't sound like me. It's the consistency. These guys are consistent every single day in what they do. So you've got to figure that out. You got to figure out how to be disciplined doing it. We can all use more discipline, right? Is it just me? Raise your hand if you can use more discipline in your life, right? You guys know what I did last week? I deleted the Facebook app off my phone. You know why? Because I didn't realize how much of a distraction that was to me. And you know what was scary? After
Dude,
I
I'd have a heart
deleted,
attack.
well, you got to. After I deleted it off my phone, I caught myself. I mean, probably every 10 minutes, opening my phone, going to the search. If you have an iPhone, you know what I'm talking about. Swipe down search and putting it FA, because it always comes up Facebook, the app, and then I would click Facebook. But guess what would happen? Facebook wasn't there anymore. So I started catching myself of how many times I was doing this in a day. And I went, oh my gosh. I mean, it's a problem. It really, really is. And Facebook can be a great tool. Okay, I get that. Some people, but there's too many people that are using Facebook as a cop-out. Okay, well, I'm on Facebook because I'm recruiting. I'm on Facebook because I'm selling homes, right? No, most of the time what you're doing on Facebook is scrolling up and down, comparing yourself to everyone else, trying to figure out, am I better than that person or are they better than me? Are they really happy or are they not happy? Why did this person get this and I didn't, right? Can we all be honest? Who's been to an AA meeting, guys? This is all safe. It's like an AA meeting. It's perfectly safe here. You can raise your hand. Another great book that I just read that I think would be empowering for everybody on this call is You Can't Hurt Me by David Gagan. Completely phenomenal. He's a Navy Marine. Talk about a story. This guy lost 100 pounds in 90 days to be able to join the Marines. Can you imagine losing 100 pounds in 90 days? And what he had to do mentally and what he had to overcome. He was abused as a child, okay? No formal education. The things that he's had to do. This book was so motivating, and it's about being truthful with yourself, right? And that's sometimes we don't do that. And he calls it the accountability mirror. And that's when you look in the mirror and you're truthful with yourself about your life, what you're failing at, and what you need to do. If you need to lose weight, you're truthful about that. If you need to be consistent on making calls, you're truthful about it. If you don't like offensive language, don't read the book. Okay, but I love what David says on it. He even talks about his relationship with God and what he feels is going to happen when he dies. But he uses the language because that's how he tells his story. And I love it. And he uses examples. If he goes, I got beat a lot as a kid, or you say, I got, beat the out of me. That's what really happened. That's what really happened to him. And he said, I won't downplay what happened to me, because if I start talking that way and not making it such a big deal back then, that's hurting me, because it was a big deal. And that's what shaped me and molded me and motivated. Okay, you guys ready for this? This changed my life when I heard this. Who's ready? Who's ready for this? Everybody ready? Man, it's hard to these. Get excited with me here. It's Tony Robbins fist pumps. Come on, Tracy. You and I got this. What he said at the end of this book just radically just started making me think about everything. And what David said at the end, he goes, I believe when we die, we go to heaven. Okay, this is his thing, his belief. Okay, when we die, he's going to go to heaven. And he goes, God's going to be there with a list. Okay, and it's going to be all the things that people could have been. And they're going to be standing there, and they're going to come up, and God's going to go, hey, this is what I had for you. I had this, this, and this, but you didn't do it. Like, you didn't put in the time, the effort, the energy. You weren't consistent. Like, I gave you all these opportunities. I had them for you. Like, this was your life, but you didn't take it. And what David said next, though, just radically made me start thinking of everything I'm doing. He goes, when I get up to God in that line, I want God to take that list and go, man, like, these are the things I had, but you outdid all this, and you did all these things. Like I was shocked, David, by what you did. Like, I didn't even see this, like, on this. And he goes, that's how I live my life every single day. So, some of us are trying just to get to the potential we think we have. Why don't we start getting to the potential that we don't even think we could have? right? Tracy, you're living proof of that. Tom, you're proof of that, right? Think about it. Think about the place that you are today. Did you think 20, 30 years ago you would be sitting here in this position? So now let's look at another 5 years from now. And everybody on this call, think about where you thought you might be in 5 years with your limited belief systems, right? Of this is the best I could be in 5 years. And now 10x that. Think at a whole nother level and start proving yourself wrong. Woo, I'm pumped now. Now I'm going to get on my next call and I'm just going to be pumped.
What do you guys think? My goodness, Chris, I really appreciate you jumping on. I know you got 30 seconds to jump on the other call. Go get them, man. Take our stock to like $200. Would you please?
I
Go
love
get
it,
us.
guys.
We gotta
Thank
hit
you.
the 40,000, 42,000 mark to 100,000 to a million agents.
We're
right?
working on it. We're working on it. It takes a group effort here. You know, it's everybody that grows this company, and that's why we're so powerful. And it's the people that are waking up and they get that they're part of something bigger than themselves, right? And that's
Right.
what we are here at eXp.
Right. All right, man. We're very good. Thank you very much, Chris. We love you, man. We appreciate you. Go take
Love you,
a
buddy.
coffee.
Tracy,
All right.
great seeing you. Everybody on the call, have a great day. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.